let's talk about scooters. Years ago, I kind of got the bug to get a motorcycle. So I had a 750 Honda, and I also bought the wife a little 49cc scooter. Well, I tinkered around, played with the motorcycle, and found out didn't like it. I just wasn't any fun. But we both just had a ball on that little scooter. We just drove it all over town. The only problem with it was 49cc, didn't have enough power. You couldn't get up a hill in town without slowing way down, cars piling up behind you. But it was just fun. We just had a good time with it. So a couple of years ago, we decided, that's it, we're going to go buy a couple of scooters and we're going to get bigger ones. So this is mine. It's a Stella, a genuine company's scooter. It's two-stroke, so if you saw a little oil smoke as I'm coming up the alley, well, it's supposed to. It's two-stroke. And the wife bought a little Honda, a little 125, and this is a 150. And it'll go pretty close to 60 miles an hour if you want to. But mostly I just use it in town. It's just fun. I can do all my errands all summer long on about a tank and a half of gas, and the tank holds about a gallon. So I can run back and forth across town, go to my dad's house, go run to the dollar store, get something, go to the liquor store, haul a case of beer, just pretty handy. So this is what we do. Now, and like I say, we'll go out on the weekends, we'll go out on a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday afternoon, just ride around town together, just have a ball with them. So it always amazes me that more people don't own them and more people don't try them, because the scooters are just nothing but a ball. When you can save that kind of gas money and it's fun to drive, well, shoot, you know, that's a win-win. Okay, I was going to tell you a little bit of scooter history. The scooter was an American invention. Cushman Company at that time made the little motors, but they made them for farm uses. You run a corn sheller with it or something like that. But they just didn't quite have enough business to make it really profitable, really make any money. They were surviving. Well, a couple of companies came out with little motor scooters. And it was just starting out, and Cushman bid to provide the motors. Well, the company they bid to turned them down. And Cushman decided to go ahead and produce their own. And gosh, they're collector's items now, but they made thousands of those things through the 30s, 40s, and 50s. They finally kind of piddled out in the late 60s, early 70s, I think. But it's funny because we introduced them to the world during World War II. We dropped some of those things in France and Italy from parachutes for our soldiers to use because they were simple, little, easy to use, rugged vehicle. And after the war in Europe, the infrastructure was torn up. The roads were bad. They weren't in good condition. A lot of their factories were destroyed, and weren't a lot of cars around, and fuel was short. So they actually had in Italy a design contest for somebody to design something like the American scooter. And they had certain rules. It had to be where the driver was shielded from the road soil. That's why every scooter you see has got the wheels covered up, and usually a fairing in front that keeps stuff off of you. That was part of that. And they also had to be simple to use, and I think it had to be fairly inexpensive. Well, the two companies that got the bid were Vespa and, oh gosh, now I can't remember the name of the other one, Lambretta. And that kind of started the scooter craze around the world. all of a sudden you go to other countries and you go through Europe, you go through Asia, you go through India, you know, many countries of the world. These are everyday drivers. You buy a used scooter here and get it on Craigslist or something, it's got no miles on it. Somebody bought it and they used it as a recreational toy for a while, got tired of it, stuck it in their garage. But in other countries, you buy them, you got to look them over pretty careful, because that was their everyday family car practically, and they drove it constantly. So that's what just a little background history about scootering. Also, I wanted to say, if you decide at some point to purchase one of these things, stay away from the Chinese stuff. You might get lucky, but likelihood is the parts are hard to get a hold of. They're very cheaply made and slapped together. I watched a video on them where the guy was showing the brake, and he showed two different brakes that were totally different, that were on the same model of scooter, and the warranty book that had the parts breakdown was showing the same part number. Whatever they can buy today, the cheapest, and put on that machine, that's what they use. Now, there's two good brands that come out of Taiwan. There's Sim and Kymco. Both those are good scooters. The new one is probably, depending on what you pick out, around $4,000 maybe. Come in a range of 50cc to, nowadays you can buy a Suzuki that's a 650cc, that's a highway bike. So, you know, give scootering a thought or a try, or just a giggle. I enjoy it. I have a lot of fun with it. Me and my wife both do. So you have a quality day. Leave me a comment. Have a good time. Bye-bye.